Hey guys, Andrew at CPR Instructor Affiliates. Today we're going to talk about how to set prices for your classes if you're a CPR or ACLS instructor. Stay tuned, and before we jump into it, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so you can stay up to date with more videos that we put out about how to run and grow a successful CPR company. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. We're talking about a really important topic, which is how to set prices for your classes if you're a CPR or ACLS instructor. Now, I'll start out by saying this. The way not to set prices, and the way that a lot of people set their prices, is by lowballing, and they want to be the cheapest person on the block so that they can try to attract as many people to their business as possible. The other thing that they'll do is they look at their competitors, and based on the pricing that their competitors are doing, that's kind of like the pricing that they're going to set for their classes as well. Here's the problem with those two models and trains of thought. One is, by setting prices really, really low, you're shooting yourself in the foot because you are not creating a sustainable model that you can use to scale and grow. Yes, you might get some people initially by doing that, but as you grow, you're going to run into some roadblocks, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. The second issue of looking at other CPR companies in the industry and setting your prices based on what they're pricing it out as, the problem there is that I would say the majority of CPR companies in our industry are not the most business savvy people. These are nurses or paramedics who wanted to start a company, and they don't have a lot of business acumen and background and knowledge. And so you're trying to take your cues and you're trying to take your business practices from somebody else who doesn't know how to run their business either. And though it might look like they're doing well, behind the scenes, they're just floundering and struggling. So you really want to approach this from a very systematic, from just a wise approach, as opposed to just trying to go the lowball approach or copying what everyone else is doing. So here's what I say. First of all, you need to take into account your costs that you have now and costs that you might have in the future. So take into the fact that you've got the price of books, the price of the certification card. That's easy right there, okay? Then take into account maybe the cost of rent or utilities. And maybe you're not renting a place, but you need to take that into account, because one day if you're wanting to grow your business, hopefully you will have a place that you're going to be renting. So set your prices appropriately. Always create a framework and a structure based on where you want to be or where you're going, not where you are right now. So take into account what rent would potentially be. Take into account what it would cost you to hire somebody to teach the CPR class. It's because again, you don't want to have these low prices and then 2 or 3 years down the road, all these people that you're attracting to your company, they're used to low prices, but all of a sudden your costs have gone up and you've had to really raise prices. You're going to lose those people because they're not going to want to pay your new price that's just been inflated significantly. So start charging premium prices from the start and calculate in all your current costs and potentially future costs. Also, this is going to help you from a financial standpoint be able to really see how profitable your business is. If you're charging $30 for a CPR class and you're the only one teaching it, you might be breaking even or even making a little bit of a profit. But does that really mean that you're profitable? No, it doesn't, because you're skewing your numbers. You're lowballing and you're the one teaching. But if you were actually running a real business, you would have employees and you would have rent and all these kind of things. And in that case, you would actually be in the red. So you have to kind of project when you look at your numbers and make sure that that you're looking at those numbers accurately and you're not skewing it with lowballed prices accompanied with you teaching all the classes, because that's not realistic of how a business should operate or how you should be operating in the future. The other thing to take into account is that for a CPR class, you're going to charge a lot less than you would for an ACLS class, primarily because people are accustomed charging or accustomed to paying more for that class, but also you've got to pay more because you've got to hire more experienced instructors to be able to teach the advanced courses like ACLS or PALS. And so because you're paying them more, because those classes take longer to teach, you're going to need to therefore charge more for those classes. The same goes for when you're teaching a private class. Like if you're going to a doctor's office or a daycare center, you'll want to make sure that you're covering all of your costs. Sometimes you can give it at more of a discount because you're guaranteed money. So, as opposed to a public class where you might have only 1 or 2 people, you got to charge more to make sure that you make enough money off of that class. But when you do a private class where you're doing 6 to 10 people, you know that you're guaranteed a certain amount of money, and therefore you can give them a break because you're not having to worry about like how many people are going to sign up for my class. You know how many. So you've got a fixed cost for that class, and you can charge a more fixed rate. And then finally, the last thing I'll say is this. Don't charge low prices on classes. That's never a successful model. That's not what people value. People don't value cheap classes. Some people do, but the majority of people don't. In fact, sometimes it works against you. If you charge a really cheap class, people look at that and think, oh, I'm going to get a really cheap class, and I'm going to get what I paid for. And so we actually have people that have told us in the past that they come to us because they felt like the value that they were going to get was going to be better. They felt like it's going to be a professional atmosphere. It's not going to be an awkward classroom. They felt like they were going to actually learn something and get something out of the course. And so people value higher end things. And we see this all the time in the marketplace. If you go on Amazon or something, sometimes you don't always go for the cheapest item. Sometimes you go for a little bit more of an expensive item because you believe that higher ticket price is going to lead to a higher quality product. And people do the same kind of, they have the same mentality about CPR classes. Are you going to lose out on some people who want the dirt cheapest price? Yes. But I'm here to tell you, as a company that's been very successful and has really grown, that charging the cheapest has not hurt us at all. We charge premium rates, and we have only seen success and growth from that. So please stay away from lowballing. Please stay away from comparing what your competitors are doing. You need to do what's best for you. Set the appropriate rates based on your costs or your future projected costs, and you will see slow, steady, sustainable growth. I hope this video was helpful. Please drop comments below. Ask questions. We'd be happy to answer those for you. And stay tuned for more videos. Take care.